Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Dom's Let's Play series, episode 6. This episode is going to be dedicated to slimes and slime farms. In between episodes, I've been doing just a little bit of research on slimes, and I also did a little bit of a improvement to the base so far. I extended the glass from my mob evaders up to the current position that it's at. Right now there's no mobs in the tubes. But yeah, that's it so far. I've been doing a little bit of research on how slimes spawn, and I've found that they spawn in this chunk that is marked with those glass blocks in the ice. So that is one of the chunks that they'll spawn in. Slimes only spawn in specific chunks. It's like every 10th chunk they have the possibility to spawn in. And they only spawn at deeper depths. Slimes will only spawn at level 16 or below. So you have to dig your farm that deep in the ground within your chunk where slimes will spawn. This is the closest chunk to my base that has the possibility of spawning slimes. And slimes can also spawn in a well-lit room. So you would not have to worry about the slimes interfering with my mob farm, because none of the mobs should be able to spawn in the room while the slimes are in there. Okay guys, so the first step in making the slime farm is digging down to level 16 or below. I plan on going a little bit lower than that to make multiple levels of it maybe in the future. Also, the shaft that you dig, which I have found a pretty good spot for, the shaft that you dig shouldn't interfere with anything like my mob system. The cool part about it is that the chunk that starts the slime farm, which is over in that direction, that chunk that's right at this wall, actually right at this hole, is just next to the area that I used for my mob system. So this block is the wall to my mob system, vertically, if you think about it. And these blocks are the roof. So let's look in there. Right there, there's my mob system. It's lit up right now for a couple of reasons. I was down there recently checking out some stuff. But that's the mob system, and as you can see, this is the wall to that mob system. Welcome back everyone. All the way down at about 13-ish. And I am digging out a 16 by 16 square in the rock down here. I'm going to leave it too high for now, and I'll explain why in a minute. The 16 by 16 block is actually a chunk in my world. Let me show you the coordinates here. This corner right there would be 112 and 144. X 112 and Z 144. So that corresponded with the coordinates of one of the corners of the chunks, and this chunk I'm carving out right now is a slime spawning chunk. I found that using the application that I'm going to link in the description. It's an online, just a web page. It's actually very, very useful. You put in your level seed, or you can just put in your level.dat file, and it will pretty much generate a map for you of where slimes can spawn around a position that you put in into the application, an XZ position. So this thing gets carved out. It's just a 16 by 16. You keep it lit the whole thing will be lit. I'll be putting either glowstone in the ground or torches on the ground for right now, probably. I don't have any glowstone yet. If you've been keeping up with the series, I have not gone into the nether yet. I really haven't done very much off camera when it comes to that kind of a thing, or exploration in general. I've been really staying around the base. But yeah, you keep it well lit, because slimes can spawn on a surface that's of any light level, just they have to be a certain depth under the ground. They spawn in 3 sizes naturally. There's a small, which is like little tiny ones that follow you around and they jump and they don't hurt you at all. There's the medium ones, which will split up into 4 tiny ones. And then there's the big ones, which will split up into 4 medium ones, which in turn will split up into 4 tiny ones. And then, but they all have different sizes. So the smallest, the one that doesn't do any damage to you, is less than the size of a block. So it could fit through a little teeny 1x1 hole. Like if I dug that, it would be able to fit through there. A medium one does not fit through a 1x1 hole. He is, I think it's like 1.2 blocks in size, so he's like just barely above this and a little bit barely like that. So if you took a block, he's just barely bigger than the block itself, so that means he could not fit through a 1x1 hole. He couldn't even fit by a 1x2. He'd have to fit by a 2x2 hole if you wanted to go through it, especially because they jump. So, and then the largest one is like 2.4 blocks big, so that means he's actually taller than this roof, which I'm planning on, because they can spawn on here even if the roof is too small. And the larger one will instantly suffocate and split up into 4 medium ones, which are easier to handle with water streams, which I will show you guys how I'm going to do the water streams a little bit later. But I don't like this gravel. It's annoying whenever I'm trying to make something a specific height. But the what'll happen is this entire 16x16 pad will be solid. What I'm going to do is probably carve out another 2 blocks in every single direction and dig down from there, just like my monster spawner, my mob spawner system. And that will, the mobs will eventually walk over to the water, or jump over to the water, and be taken away by the water. Slimes do not swim. They sink in water. They cannot swim up. So you have to find a different way of transporting them to the surface or whatever. But the best thing to do, I have seen, is to drown them, the larger ones, until they are small enough, till they're tiny. The little tiny ones will be able to climb up ladders, which I am planning to move this ladder out of the spawning pad, of course, because I dug down into into the zone itself. But I will move this to a different place. But as soon as the medium slimes are smaller ones, they've broken up into tiny ones, they've drowned, the tiny ones will be able to climb up a 1x1 ladder. So little ones will be able to climb all the way themselves up to the surface, because they automatically will climb up ladders. So my plan is to have like a slime room in the base. It'd be pretty cool. It's either that, or I'll just have like a almost like a little viewing window, and watching the little tiny ones get drowned to death, and then their drops will collect, maybe even with the other mob drops. Oops. But so also, while I was mining this out, this 2x2 thing, if you guys can remember my subscriber special, this is where that took place. This is where the lapis was. This is where the redstone was. And right around this corner is where I first found the diamond. Those are all the firsts for this LP series, so that was quite a cool room, just quite a cool cave. Kind of just ran into it. Kind of unfortunate, but whatever. So, cool. That's mined out. So this is one chunk. Well, vertically, if this is one chunk. So if you ever seen like big holes in your world, it's a chunk error. This is about the size that you'll see vertically, so you'll be able to see all the way down into the void or whatever. But it's about this size, length and width wise. So I'm going to finish mining these out, these little veins of stuff, and cap off the floor. And then as soon as this is done, I'm going to start making those canals on the side. As of right now, this is a usable farm. I might actually just leave it for a little while, because I would rather have other things running. But I think what I'm going to do is finish it up to the best of my ability this episode, and then maybe a later episode will come in and make a couple additions to it. It's been a little while since I've been able to get on Minecraft, so and I kind of am seeing the same pattern arising in the future. So what I'm probably going to do is just do, not do too much off camera, do a lot on camera, just because it's better on my time, and I bet you guys like it a little bit better as well. Now, up here, I'm going to actually carve out another 16 by 16 room in the future. This probably is not going to be done just yet. What's going to happen is that the second room up here will be able to supply slimes down to the water streams attached to this room. So what will happen is that this, which is going to be the floor, will be cut off right here at this wall, and the slimes will be able just to jump off that ledge and down into the water streams, which will pull the mobs over to maybe this kind of area, drown them until they're tiny, and the tiny ones will be able to climb up the ladder, so I don't have to come down here to pick up all my slime balls. After they climb up the ladder, which is a very, very long journey, which does not have to be lit, it's just my preference, they will come all the way up to my base. There's tends to be a problem with slimes climbing long ladders. They sometimes fall off the ladders, and they'll fall like the whole 20 blocks down. I mean, actually, maybe even more than 20 blocks down. Like the whole 60 blocks all the way back down, and then they have to climb back up again. So I saw in a video, which I will try to find again and link it, a cool way to stop them from falling down, the whole 60. Pretty much what it does is includes a water stream to push them to another ladder, so that the ladders are only about like maybe 20 blocks in length. This ladder system will go all the way up into the actual base itself, not just into the wiring room like it is now. And there will be, like I said, like a little viewing window for me to see the individual tiny slimes. Or it might just have a whole slime room just for fun, just to see if they can push me around, or if I can grab a slime pet, which I used to do. It was fun to watch this little slime follow me around, especially because it could climb the ladders in my mines and stuff like that. So it was pretty fun. So yeah, I think that's it for right now. We'll see you guys next episode. Next episode will be probably me finishing this whole system, and probably figuring out how I'm going to get the ladder system back up to the base without making it look horrible. So until then, see you next time. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.